Is part of the challenge around hiring into your industry that this fact that maybe more broadly or in adjacent industries that they don't understand or recognize how fast your industry is going? Put aside Dematic for a moment, but the industry itself is a good industry and growing much more, perhaps dramatically, than other segments of the industrial economy.
Yeah, I don't think an average day consumer of today understand how they've changed in the way they buy and the consequences of it had, and the consequences will have over the next 10 years. Our industry is looked like a boring industry. And this boring industry is now being faced of that simple change. And how do you now making that efficient?
Your leadership transition to Dematic, you made a reference to the fact that this isn't your first transformation. How is it similar? How is it different?
What's similar is how do you take an industrial company to become a technology company, therefore being different to your peers? That's very similar between Invensys and Dematic. And how do you lead and support your organization now? Transformation for high performance, very similar. What is very different, public company versus private, which makes it very different. Also, it was very much a turnaround, a crisis situation. Dematic definitely is not in that situation. And very mature industries that are not that much of a transformation was Invensys. But here you have an industry in transformation. How do you respond to that transformation? My approach to transformation is the same. It's been proven at Invensys, and of course my career symbolized that. I've been a leader to transform from a young age and transform myself in the context of creating high performance and great results. And that I bring to Dematic and this industry too. What fascinates me about Invensys caused the industry to change in some parts about real-time information and about what it can do. And I think Dematic now is changing our industry, our peers and us, together with our customer, is pushing the envelope to respond to the change that the consumer is asking for.
Is there any particular points in time throughout your career that made the biggest impact in terms of preparing you to be a chief executive officer and ultimately accountable for everything that takes place with these types of either turnarounds or transformations?
For me, it's back to my childhood. I was dyslexic, had difficulty in school. I decided to prove the world I was not stupid. So anyone who said cannot be done, I just prove it can be done. So I've lived my life on reflection to prove that I can. But it definitely driven me to take on things that others don't want to take on. From that, you gradually build more and more confidence. You can transfer that confidence to others. You can talk about things on the context of what you do, in the context of your own failure or your own trials, and your own successes is what worked or didn't work, not in the context of being right or wrong, all in the context of what works and doesn't work. And if it didn't work for me, how can we make it work for you?
How do you translate that all into your vision for the Dematic company, and what do you love most about your job doing that?
I'm in an environment where I constantly hear the point, we cannot do that. No, we tried that before, it doesn't work. No, that's impossible. We cannot go that fast. I thrive in that environment. It gives me the energy to prove the world we can do it, and we can do it faster than most. And to be on that edge without crashing, the excitement to be in that place makes you feel alive. As to be the CEO, I can set that agenda. I own that agenda. I have to be responsible, and being responsible is energy for the future. For me, being responsible to own it is something very deep in me.